What do you think is the meaning of propaganda?
Propaganda is when one person or a group of people talk to another or give their ideas to another person and try to make that person think and do what they would like.
It's the art, or rather the act, of educating one in another's beliefs, and then making that person make that person understand what you are trying to do, and then he'll believe in what you're doing.
It's not necessarily truth and facts. It could be what you want them to think.
I think it would be fun and exciting to consider this problem of propaganda.
What's good, y'all? As you noticed, today's video gonna be a little different since we won't review the health benefits of a fruit or veggie. We'll do instead an institutional analysis on the traditional American breakfast, bacon and eggs. So why and how bacon became one of the most popular breakfasts in Western countries, although in the US, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Or so the old adage goes. There are good research to support the benefits of eating a healthy breakfast. Yes, old news, you already knew that. Now if you ask a nutritionist what are the healthiest breakfasts, bacon won't be in his top 5 or top 10. If we want to understand why and how bacon became an American institution, we need to go back in the 1920s. Let's quote Edward L. Bernays, the acknowledged father of public relations and nephew of Sigmund Freud. If you don't like bacon, and you're interested in your health, and 4,000 doctors say that you'd better eat bacon, you'll do it. Okay, now you're wondering why a dude working in public relations would interfere with your health? Well, the answer is simple: money. Bernays was a man who came from Vienna when he was a child, and grew up in America. He became a man of the elite by working as a propagandist for politics during the First World War. When he realized how much his work was efficient on the masses, then he thought, well, if you use propaganda for war, you can certainly use it for peace. But since Germans had uses the word propaganda, he created public relations and started to work for big business. As John Jay, one of the founding fathers of the USA, Bernays thought that those who own the country ought to govern it. That's why he wanted to help them to keep their influence on people. Inspired by Walter Lippmann, an influential American journalist and commentator of that time, who described mass control as useful and necessary because the common interests very largely elude public opinion entirely, and can be managed only by a specialized class. He took Freud's complex ideas on people's unconscious, psychological motivations and applied them to the new field of public relations. Edward Bernays saw that the way to sell a product was not to sell it to your intellect, but make you think you will feel better if you buy the product. This framework is still used today. From chicken sandwiches to sneakers and smartphones, purchasing the offered product would alleviate the anxiety of the consumer. Now let's go back to our breakfast thing. Today's owned by Nestlé, Beech-Nut Packing Company was suffering lagging sales in one of its key meat products, bacon. Back in the days, American breakfasts were usually fairly light and contained little meat, usually consisting of cereals and grains. They hired him to promote their product. Bernays asked himself, who influences what the public eats? His answer was to work in old-school data analyst fashion, and commissioned a study of 5,000 doctors who were asked if a hearty breakfast was better than a light breakfast to replace the energy lost by the body at night. Naturally, the results showed 4,500 doctors agreed, and, from then on, bacon and eggs were positioned as the hearty breakfast food to boost energy and vitality in print and broadcast media, along with placements for Beech-Nut's bacon. Bernays' influence on the modern world doesn't stop at breakfast. He also worked for the American Tobacco Company. His marketing campaign in the 1920s and 1930s got women to associate smoking with freedom and liberation. He removed the stigma associated with women smoking in public and sold the idea that cigarettes were torches of freedom. One of his most successful PR campaigns on behalf of the CIA, Bernays helped the United Fruit Company, better known today as Chiquita Brands International, organize a coup to overthrow the democratically elected government of Guatemala, creating a better business environment for their banana fields. What you should know. Today, 70% of bacon eaten in the US is eaten at breakfast. The vast majority of people who feel they must have bacon and eggs for breakfast have no idea that they are actually victims of propaganda. When many Americans think of farm animals, they picture cattle munching grass on rolling pastures, chickens pecking on the ground outside of picturesque red barns, and pigs gobbling down food at the trough. The truth is most animals raised for food in the US and Europe are grown inside giant industrial buildings called factory farms. Thousands upon thousands pigs are trapped inside metal buildings, living in inhumane conditions, suffering from infections from biting the bars or just from the food they have been fed. Pig carcasses can be rendered and fed back to pigs, same species meat, diseased animals, and feathers, hair, skin, and blood. Food animal can contain cattle manure, swine waste, and poultry litter. This waste may contain drugs such as antibiotics and hormones that have passed unchanged through the animals' bodies. In 2012, a Swedish study found that eating 2 slices of bacon a day increased pancreatic cancer risk by 20%. Eating a daily 3.5 ounces serving of any processed meat increased the risk of developing pancreatic cancer risk by 38%, and eating 5.3 ounces increased the risk by 57%. If you don't know, now you know. Choice is only possible when we are aware of our options. Okay, now you must feel like you've been played all your life and you wonder what's a healthy breakfast then? Well, if you remove bacon, you still got eggs, right? Can you eat eggs every morning? The World Health Organization says you should eat 3 eggs per week, not more, because of their high level of cholesterol. The best food choice in the morning is fresh, ripe seasonal fruit on an empty stomach. The second best choice is whole grain cereal. If you're not a morning person, try a full glass of water plus a fruit, along with a handful of almonds or walnuts. If you really want to fill your stomach, try peanut butter and a banana smoothie bowl. Rich in protein, if you add almond or soy milk, then yogurt and peanut butter in the bowl and chopped peanuts and chia seeds on top. Chia seeds are extremely nutritious and one of the best sources of fiber around. Oatmeal is the best breakfast choice for serial killers. It's made from ground oats, which contain a unique fiber called oat beta-glucan. This fiber has many impressive health benefits, including reduced cholesterol. That's all for today's video. If you wanna go further, you'll find in the description below some interesting readings about Edward Bernays, propaganda and of course, healthy breakfast. If you enjoyed this video, thanks for supporting us by adding a thumb up, and subscribe to our channel, and remember to eat smart.